Does he have headphones?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's listening.
1.
Has it only been 3 weeks? It has.
I don't fucking know. Yeah. It's been longer since we recorded, but they got an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, after the election. That Thursday.
They did, huh?
Yeah, but it was recorded before the election.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Yeah.
We just predicted that it would be a landslide. And
it was. We are back.
God.
It's been a minute for us. Not as long for you guys.
Not as many minutes.
Not as many minutes for you guys, because you guys got... The last episode you guys got was the Thursday after the election, but we recorded that the week before the election.
Yes.
That's why we didn't mention anything about the election in that one.
Right.
Because we didn't know.
We just predicted stuff. And it was...
Fucking, you can call us Nostradamus.
That's
because
right.
Guess what? We're back, baby.
We landslided that motherfucker. That was beautiful.
It was
a beautiful thing. And we got the House, and so we got everything.
And we have the Supreme Court, and we're going to get it more. Like, I'm just saying, like, look, as happy as I am, I don't think that's good. Either way, I think it's good right now. I think it's great because we gotta right the ship. But longevity of like having everything, literally everything.
Yeah, that
on one side is
that
not
can
good.
be a. Yeah, I could say. I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
Needs to be some balance, but the balance has been tipped so far on one side.
You know what's funny? I kept telling people like, we kept mentioning the pendulum, like when it swings back.
Yeah.
Like it always swings back harder.
Yeah.
And you guys pushed that pendulum so far to the left side.
Yeah.
And then and now it's swinging back with more momentum.
I think one of the biggest like pivots, or I guess not pivot, but like a pivotal moment would be that like she chose badly on obviously a couple things. Like everybody kind of understands and agrees with that.
Yeah.
But like Joe Rogan mentioned, like they had him like for a long time. They, meaning the Democrats, had him, and they pushed him like they did so many others.
Yeah.
That are that were in politics. He's obviously not, but for that to happen, like that was kind of a crazy thing. Like, and then she decided against going on his podcast and instead went on the porn chicks podcast, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
What is it?
Call Her Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to listen to that podcast a long time ago. You know, it used to be 2 girls on that show.
Yeah.
And Barstool Bottom, and there was a huge
a huge debate
between the 2 girls.
Not a debate.
Huge fight, and then she went off by herself. I used to listen to it a long time ago.
Because they got paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
When Barstool took them in, because they were just
and then re-upped them.
Right.
Yeah.
They got a fucking check.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. And that's as long as I have not listened to that since any of that went down.
I haven't listened to them since Barstool bought them.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because when it was the 2 of them, they were fucking hilarious. Mm-hmm. I mean, hilarious.
Yeah, they're like the female version of us.
Yeah, they really were.
I mean, honestly, like they just didn't give a fuck. And it was kind of fun to watch a team like do that.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, it's fine. You can talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like it's okay to talk about that stuff because it doesn't matter who listens to you or who doesn't. Like that's the beautiful part about podcasts. Like you don't have to listen. We don't have to take sponsors. We don't have to take money. You can just do what we want to do, and it doesn't matter whether our audience is 2 or 200,000. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Like it's not about that.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you're right though. Harris, she, I don't know, like her campaign team just did not do well for her. Like
okay. So the biggest thing that I kind of take away from that whole thing is that I feel like, and this is true of, in my opinion, like the new Democratic Party, everything has to have a stipulation, right? Like I've felt like that for a long time, and it was just hard for me to put it into words because I didn't really understand or maybe give it enough thought. But like when that whole thing came down with Joe's like, yeah, we'll do it, but yeah, we'll do it, comma, or whatever. And it's just like, okay,
Well,
dude, you can't do that.
I'll tell you what that was with her. I mean, people can say what they want, but she can't do it.
Right. Well, the teleprompter thing, right?
Right. Like
the speech thing, the thing in the ear.
Talk.
Right.
Like they had to do that. Mm-hmm. Here's what I'm saying though. Like if you start looking at like the campaign's, like game plan and like what they were like the messaging they were putting out, like they tried the fucking fascist Nazi stuff pretty early on and it tanked their approval rating, not approval rating, but like their campaign numbers were going down and they stopped it.
Right.
And they started bringing it back up with like the hope and the joy and the fucking dreams and aspirations.
Everything is good.
Yeah, everything's great. And then like the last week and a half, they just started to force the Nazi stuff back. Like, I think
because they were on their heels. They were throwing Hail Marys.
But you went to a Hail Mary that wasn't working before.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose if you want to parallel football and any kind of that. So, yeah, you could throw up 100 Hail Marys. You only got to catch one, right?
I guess.
I mean, and it's a bad because it's way worse than that. Like it's not that, but in that terminology, like you don't have, you're not going to catch every one of those passes. Like not every Hail Mary is going to be a slam dunk, but maybe one does. Yeah. Maybe one slips past the goalie.
Yeah, maybe it's like that game with the Green Bay where the fucking defender caught the ball and then the Green Bay guy caught him and they rolled a touchdown for Green Bay. What are you talking about? That was when the college refs were in the NFL.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a kind of weird and again and Joe talked about it actually. Mike Rowe. Did you listen to that one yet?
Mike Rowe.
Mike
Rowe. No, I'm behind after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So I'm on the one before that. Andrew.
That podcast is amazing.
Yeah,
but Mike Rowe is amazing. So
he is amazing.
And he's actually mentioned this in a couple of those podcasts. However, he went a little more in depth on this one where he was like, because Mike Rowe got approached by Robert F. Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
To be,
makes sense.
He wanted him to be the vice president. He wanted to run. He was like,
I'm not doing that.
Please don't.
That is a dirty job I'm not doing.
But then he asked
Powerade making my balls cold.
Yeah, the whole Kamala thing, and he goes, the biggest problem I had, not even a problem. He's like, I didn't give a shit what we talked about. I just want to have a conversation, which he said a bunch of times. However, he said this time he was like, they didn't. They gave me a list of things that we couldn't talk about.
Yeah,
couldn't talk about. I think it was like
legalizing marijuana.
Legalizing marijuana was one.
So weird.
Couldn't talk about that.
I can't remember what it was. There was
that.
There was another weird one.
Immigration was one.
What? It's like,
and then
you mean the thing that like people care about the most?
Right. Like big ones.
Yeah.
And like I think like medical insurance, something. And he goes, like we could only take one. I was like, well, he goes, well, immigration's a big one. Like so if we start talking about immigration, I live in Texas. I know what's going on. I mean, I have a better understanding of what's going on before we live in California. And so he was like, there's certain things I can't ask. Like, that's weird. Crazy. Yeah. Like, that's not going to work.
I thought it was interesting when they were, really pushing it's so fucking funny, man. Like, it's so wild. Like, I can't believe that more people aren't absolutely astonished by this. Is like, the second that the campaign decides to start using, like, the Nazi fascist rhetoric in, like, a certain term, then all of a sudden, all the mainstream media is using the exact same words, like, to the word. Mm-hmm. It's so, like, that. If that doesn't, like, put, like, a red flag in your head, there's a problem, man.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Here's like my thing. Like, you are going to start calling your political opponent a Nazi who clearly is not a Nazi, clearly not even racist. I know they love to throw that name around for Trump, that word around for Trump a bunch. But like, if you can name one thing racist he's ever done,
they can't.
I'd be surprised.
They can't come up with any of that.
But it's like, you start using the word Nazi, you're kind of taken away from what a Nazi actually is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you're taking away from the word. Like, if I was Jewish and you were calling Trump a Nazi, I'd be like, No, asshole.
Yeah.
Like, when was the last time he gas chambered anybody?
Yeah. And it's kind of funny. Are
you calling him Hitler?
Yeah. Again, like you're downplaying.
Yeah.
Almost an extinction event.
An almost extinction event for a certain race of people.
Right. And you're putting that same kind of term
on somebody that's never killed a Jew. Not one.
Yeah.
I mean,
and also not ever taken over like a group of people and just been like, this is what we're doing and that's it.
You want to go? Where you're coming?
Yeah.
I mean,
so I remember Rogan talking about this particularly when he switched, and it was when Obama and him and Trump were on stage talking about the white supremacist stuff, that whole thing.
Yeah.
And how the media cut it all to say that we have some good people on both sides. And he goes, it's not true. It's not even close. And they played the whole thing.
Yeah.
On the show, and I was like, dude, what the
They did the same thing with like the Tucker Carlson show where he was like, when he was talking about like 7 barrels pointed at what's her name's face or whatever, it's like they cut that up to make it sound like he was calling for a firing squad.
Right. And he was like, it's just,
that's propaganda.
Yeah. You want to talk about Nazi stuff?
Yeah. You want to talk about Nazi stuff? Yeah. That's Nazi stuff, but
yeah. That's 1000% the same thing.
Dude, it is like, that is gaslighting to the maximum.
To the absolute top of the food chain.
It's like,
yeah.
the fuck?
And you want to talk about fascism? Don't even bother talking about Nazis. Let's talk about fascism. Let's talk about like,
it is so wild.
Whoa.
That was a weird season. Like they'd be like, what do you think that we should be censoring social media? Yes, we can't have people saying whatever they want. We need to be censoring what goes out to, YouTube and X. But let me tell you, the Republicans, they are trying to take away your free speech. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you even know what you're saying right now?
Do you know what gaslighting is?
Do you know what retardation is? Like, do you guys have the right amount of chromosomes? Because you're talking like you don't.
Yeah, you can't.
You're speaking in oxymorons.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we like take away your free speech. They're trying to take away your free speech. What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Something's wrong here.
Yeah. It was so interesting.
I was losing my faith in the American people a little bit because they had kind of gone on with it through the Biden years, and I was just thinking that the path was going to continue. But obviously it didn't. Obviously, the American people as a whole saw
Voting works.
What was happening.
Voting actually works.
I mean, I don't know if I said it on the podcast. I think I did. But someone asked me, they're like what's, it was Kobe at work. And he was like, you think we're going to get Pennsylvania? And I told him, I think we're going to get all of them. I said, I think we get all the swing states. And he was like, no, it's not going to happen. Okay, bud. There it is, bud, right there. Got all of them. Every single motherfucking one of them.
You know what? The thing
and
is,
almost turned Virginia.
Yeah,
I mean, Virginia was close.
Did you see the numbers?
New York City proper turned like 15 points the other direction. I mean, that, like, I know some people are like, well, he didn't take the swing states by much, blah, 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 blah. Okay, understandable. You need to look at the other things that how many points flipped the other way.
But look at 2020 in comparison.
Yeah.
Like, lost by 88,000 or whatever that was.
Yeah, like 0.9%. A lot of them were like 0.9%.
Yeah. This time it was just
1.9.
Yeah, it was
like
crazy.
You're talking about a 2.8 flip, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a lot.
In actual numbers, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
like actual numbers of votes.
It was 8.5
I know
million,
it kind of starts to look like minuscule when you're looking at percentages, but then when you're like, oh, that's 800,000 votes the other way.
Well, yeah, and the other that's bigger than almost anybody that's listening's area that they live in.
100%.
Right? I mean,
like with the exception of like New York, Los Angeles,
right.
Chicago,
right?
Like the big cities.
Your entire county.
Some people
went to one side. Basically,
like that's like all of Wyoming and the Dakotas.
Oh yeah. I mean, No, it's
Just think about looking at a sea of 800,000 people.
it's
Change
hard.
their minds.
Right. And I mean, I don't know, man. I think it was fucked from Jump Street for the Democrats. They went about every single decision that they made poorly.
And
every one of them.
I think
There's
they
not
thought the same
one.
way I did. I think they thought they had the American people on a track that they couldn't, that the American people wouldn't write. Correct.
Yeah.
I think they were going on the fact that like the trend was going one way and the mindset, this like, I don't mind virus people, I don't like that, but like was going one direction. And I think they put too many eggs in that basket that it wasn't going to change.
I think a lot of things come into light that people actually got to see that was real. Like all the issues that we had with the border.
Yeah.
And if you go beyond just that, the word, like the term border crisis, yeah, sure. We've heard that for fucking 20 years, whatever.
At least.
But it wasn't that. It was the decisions that they made after those folks came over, right? Like, we're going to shut schools down in New York and put them in schools to house them. We're going to shut hotels down and put them into hotels to house them.
Yeah.
We're going to take your money and pay for them to go anywhere in the U.S.
Yeah. Building new buildings in the projects and putting them in it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you know who's not happy about that? People that live in the projects.
Yeah, anywhere. I mean, the thing is, like, you're doing all these things for folks that that aren't citizens of the country that they're in.
Yeah.
And because of that, basically is what my thought process is. And I could be wrong. You guys can tell me if I am. You can. Because of that decision, you are not giving aid to people that are citizens of this country that are in desperate need of that help.
Yeah, we talked about that plenty.
Right.
Look how many veterans are homeless and killing themselves every single day.
And that is a point we need to put in, but I wasn't even thinking about that because we've talked about it so much. And we talked about that when they were giving all that money that they still are, Ukraine and Afghanistan, all these things, and not doing anything for our guys. I'm actually talking about relief from the hurricanes, relief from what went down in up north here, whatever.
Yeah.
And these dudes are just out on their ass. They're not doing fuck all about it. They're just like, oh, fuck. Well, we got a bunch of Mexicans we need to,
or Haitians or
whatever.
Venezuelans.
Yeah.
Or,
and that to me is a incredibly poor decision because that's not how we do it. It's okay. You want to bring people in. You want to get people into the country. People want to come into that's fine. There's ways to do it. Figure out the ways to do it right.
real quick before I forget this. If you guys are going out to buy a Christmas tree this year, a real one, try to buy a Fraser fir. Fraser firs come from North Carolina in the region that was hit hardest. And they're like a lot of people, like there was a huge thing on Fox Friends this morning. Like they're trying to get people to buy those because they're trying to drive the economy back in North Carolina. So Fraser firs, buy those. They look really nice too. I saw them this morning. They look good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. I have a fake one, so
Yeah, me
sorry.
too. I'll tell you.
But I mean, I don't know, man. And again, it goes back to at the beginning. I think that from Jump Street, they fucked up.
Yeah.
Because every single decision they made from Jump Street was bad. The way that they handled Biden.
Even before Jump Street, when they didn't have a primary and just let Biden run again.
So that starts it. Or even like the fact that they were just like, he's in the best shape of his life. He's in the best mental.
Oh, motherfucking Joe Scarborough, the cheerleader of fucking Joe Biden, man.
Sure. And then, so that decision, terrible. No primary, terrible. Then they basically just booted him out. Terrible.
It was a coup.
100% was a coup.
It's a coup.
And then...
It's the definition of coup.
Yeah. And then all these things, and then the rhetoric.
Not have another primary.
Right, not have another primary because they knew they couldn't. Well, and I mean, we probably talked about this, but like The reason they put her in there to run was because they could not take all that campaign money and put it into anybody else. Since she was already on the ticket, she was able to utilize it.
You know, Nancy Pelosi came out and said that when Biden dropped out, that's what she said. When you kicked Biden out,
You dirty old whore.
she said her thought was that they were going to have a primary, and then Biden endorsed her the same day.
Yeah, he endorsed her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You mean Dr. Jill Biden? That's not really a doctor.
Yeah.
That's weird. And she makes everybody call her doctor.
Yeah, it
Go
is
by doc.
weird.
Yeah. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Okay. When I think of a doctor,
Joe Biden voted for Donald Trump. I'm just saying.
yeah.
Right now.
When I think of doctor, I think of the person that I go and see if I'm sick.
Yeah.
Not the person I'm going to a college course to
learn about fucking Egyptology or something.
I'm not trying to downplay the fact that you went through a lot of stuff to become a doctor. Don't know about you specifically, Jill, but
Sounds like a cunt.
but not Dr. PhD.
Yeah.
Not that doctor.
Yeah.
A doctorate
Yeah.
of education or
PhD.
whatever Waltz had. I'm sure he had one.
That was also one of the big faux pas of that
Once again,
campaign.
I mean,
man.
you start.
She
adding up
actually
the-
said that she picked him when she was on 2 hours of sleep or 3 hours. She said that before the election.
Yeah. Are you trying to tank? Because you're doing a fucking beautiful job.
Fantastic.
You're saying that the person that you kicked out of this whole race to get into the race that was terrible because his mind was somewhere in the 1970s, right? That you then start telling people out loud that you picked the presidential candidate for your potential presidency on 2 hours of sleep and a shitload of Vike. Like, what are we doing? I know, not Vike.
She's fucking rolling on those goddamn, damn it, I lost
fucking Ambiens.
No, she's like got the telltales of the fucking Xannies, dude.
Oh, the Xans. Yeah. Anyway,
that bitch chewing Xanax bars like they're going out of style.
I'm just saying, like, why would you ever say that out loud? Maybe she thought she didn't. Maybe she was like,
You guys should go search YouTube video of people high on Xanax and then go watch some of her videos.
Yeah.
It's very clear.
How about like all the, did you hear about Beyonce getting 10 mil from them?
Yeah. There's some wild like stipulations
So
about
then,
how much it was, but
well, the one that we know for sure is Oprah.
Her production company got the money.
So she flanks that deal by saying, well, she didn't pay me $3 million. She paid my production company that you make nothing on.
Yeah.
Like you don't, is that your just production company?
Eminem got 1.8.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Why do you give Beyonce 10 mil? How bummed out are all those people that
Lizzo only got 3?
Yeah.
Look, if I'm Eminem, I'd be pissed that Lizzo got 3 and I only got 1.8.
And like I can't remember who was saying it, but how fucking...
That's illegal, right?
No.
Like, you can't pay people to endorse you.
Well, because you're asking them to do something for you. You're paying them to do something. So, like, you're paying them.
That's how you get around it. Like, you pay. That's why I like to call her daddy. Like, she got $100,000 to redecorate. She didn't want to do it in her studio. She gave Call Her Daddy $100,000 to decorate at a hotel room.
Adorbs.
100 whole. I mean,
whoa.
What did you buy? Did you
Nothing.
fucking paint it in 24 karat gold? Yeah, you moved your decorations from your studio.
You took $100,000, paid some poor 4 Mexicans, probably illegals, to move a bunch of shit from your studio for, I don't know,
neon sign that says Call Her Daddy.
$100 a day.
Yeah.
And then $400 later.
Yeah, she's got $900,914 left.
Yeah. I mean, not bad, you know. I think, like, how pissed off was everybody that was like hanging out waiting for Beyonce to come on stage? She does a speech, doesn't even sing. Please. Like, I would be so bummed. Like, they said she was going to perform a bad speech. That's not what. Like, she doesn't speak.
Fucking wild. Dude.
She sings. We don't pay you to talk, bitch. We pay you to
I'm not
shake
paying you to
your
hear your
ass.
thoughts on life or paying
Seriously,
you to sing.
I don't pay to listen to you. To listen to you talk about what you think our country needs.
Seriously.
You dumb cunt. Like, what are you doing?
If I want to hear you talk, I want to hear you talk about Jay-Z's dick.
Seriously. And how much? You guys are worth over $1 billion. Do you think you have any fucking clue what we need in this country?
Seriously. You guys are worth more than $1 billion each.
I know. The fuck out of here, man.
Oh my God. You were a Spice Girl. Fuck off. No, she wasn't a Spice Girl.
No.
She was
No.
she
Spice
was
Girls were Euros.
Destiny's Child.
Yeah. She was a Destiny.
Whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Fucking
You don't
Spice
fucking have a
Girl,
clue what's
whatever.
going on.
That's how much I give a shit about Beyonce.
Well, I didn't even know that. I mean, I think I did probably at one point, but that thing's long gone. That thought has kicked the can down the road, my man. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it is such a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're paying all these people to talk about shit that they just have no business. Really, they have no business talking about.
Well, that's all I
You
said, man.
can't talk about you are not on the same planet as we are.
Yeah. You're right.
You have a driver. You have your own plane. Don't talk to me about what you think we need as a society.
I'm with
You
you.
don't know. You don't. Fucking sing. What's that line in Wedding Crashers?
Wedding Crashers?
Yeah, where he's like, this is what I thought about Beyonce the whole time. It was like, make me
a fucking bike clown.
Yeah, make me a bike clown. Why are you so?
Why are you
yelling at me?
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what I want to say to all of them.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking dance, bitch. Like, I don't
Seriously.
give a fuck about what you want to talk about. God.
Yeah. And then after the election, we've had some wild stuff kind of going on. I mean, Harris has spent $1 billion and then spent over $20 million. Like, that's not good.
I hear a lot of people are wanting their money back.
I'd imagine.
I've heard it. I don't know if it's true at all, but I had read about it. About like all those guys, all the campaign,
fucking
big funders.
Best
were like,
part about her being over 20 million was when Trump fucking tweeted out to her and he said, I heard your campaign's spent $20 million over. He says, we have plenty of money left. Maybe it would be good if we paid it off for you. Whoa. I mean, just put the dick on the table, man.
Dude, when he walked into the UFC at Madison
my
Square
God.
Gardens, I probably shed a tear.
It
was
that
the
was
coolest
wild.
thing ever.
And everybody was there. The whole fucking
Dude.
cabinet was there.
Yeah, so fucking cool.
That was wild.
So fucking cool.
Fucking Tulsi was there. Vivek was there. Elon was there. RFK was there.
They're all sitting side by side
Yeah, that was
at the
wild.
front. Yeah, and then the rest of them right in back of them. Someone at the party, because we were at Courtney's, somebody was like, why isn't JD there? Like, because he can't travel with him now.
Yeah, you can't be in the same spot, right?
Can't be in the same spot. He's our next president, by the way, because I'm just going to call it now.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're probably right. I think they'll run him.
Look, for the first 6 months to a year, the ship will get righted with the stuff that they're planning on tackling. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like Trump and that whole team is going to make a massive push to just
I think you're gonna see a lot of JD Vance
in the limelight.
Yeah,
and
because you don't ever
pushing
fucking
him.
see vice presidents, but I think you're gonna see a lot of him.
That would be the absolute smartest play.
Yeah, and I think that you're probably going to see either Vivek or Tulsi as his running mate. I would say probably one of those two.
Yeah, that's good money. You can flip a coin on that one because either one, you got either a female, which is awesome, or
They're
what is
both. I think he's Indian.
Indian. So
Born and raised here.
right. I thought he came from Canada. That is also Indian. It's not Vivek. It's the. It sounds bad. It's the other one. I didn't mean it like that, but I mean.
Cash Patel. I always fuck him up because he was born here too.
Either way, that's a good play.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to see either Tulsi or
Yeah.
Vivek.
I mean, it could be. That's strong. That's really strong. really strong. I don't know who else you got really on the other side. I don't know who you have really.
Fucking Harris already came out and said that she's thinking about running again.
Good
do
luck.
it, please do
Yeah,
it. No,
good
actually,
luck.
please do that.
You want to lose twice?
Yeah,
Please
do
go
it.
ahead.
That's not going to happen. They're talking about Gretchen Whitmer. They're talking about Shapiro.
Well, listen, she can definitely run. If they decide to have a primary, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like,
Yeah, that'd be good.
Are you
Be
gonna get
probably a
through the
smart
primary?
move. No, you're not. You're not getting through, man. You can't.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna run Gavin. I think everyone has decided that nobody likes that guy. I mean, even the Democrats are saying it. They're like,
Yeah.
he has a bad rap around this country, as he fucking should.
Well, hey, music to my ears. I didn't realize it stretched a lot farther in California. But we did start hearing over here. We did start hearing, and actually a lot of it was kind of intertwined with the whole presidential run here.
When you say his name, people are like, oh.
Yeah. There's a real
Yeah, he fucked that. He fucked himself on that.
Well, good for him.
Because he probably could have. I'm glad too, because he probably could have won.
Yeah, he probably could have. He's presidential, man.
Yeah.
He looks.
You get him with a good speechwriter, that's fucking over.
Dude looks like JFK.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Fuck his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Badly.
Hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird thing for sure. I'm glad. I'm very, very happy.
I think we're going to see, to the top, I think we're going to see Gretchen Whitmer and Shapiro probably rise to the top of that ticket.
Yeah.
Gretchen Whitmer's a huge cunt too.
She's a governor of Minnesota, right?
Michigan,
sorry. Michigan went, yeah.
Red.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Walt's ain't going to run again, right? No way. No one wants him.
He's going to run away.
Yeah. He's got 4 years to make up some new good ones, though. Some real bangers.
Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to lie about?
Yeah.
Why? Why are you lying?
Well, in 4 years, he could be like, I almost got the presidency.
Yeah.
Remember back in 24 when I ran for president? With that one chick?
Yeah. I actually fought with Ukraine in Russia. That's what I was going to say.
I was there showing all the North Koreans porn.
Oh, yeah, we got to touch on that. Like, what's going on around the world? So, North Korea has sent its 12,000 troops so far, with more expected to come. Mm-hmm. They got to Russia, and immediately what me and Paul talked about on that podcast, they immediately got addicted to porn.
Because they immediately figured out what the World Wide Web is actually
Because the Russians were like, you ever seen one of these? They're like, what the fuck's that? And they're like, it's a phone. Look what you can do. You call people, you go on the internet. You ever seen porn? They're like, what? And they're like, look at this.
Look at this titty.
They're like, whoa. And all of a sudden you got 4 dudes gangbanging a girl, fucking airtight porn. It's just gone. It's coming out her nose. And these fucking North Koreans just, I don't want to fight no more. I'm just going to sit in the corner and jerk off.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
North Korea lost a lot of people. About 12,000 of them, actually.
Yeah. So they're going to send more. North Korea's been supplying Russia with some missiles and such.
I heard, was it last week that Biden went into the Senate or someone and asked for more money?
Yeah, he's trying to push more money before he's out.
More money. No.
And how about this? What about him fucking just approving the fucking long-range missiles on his way out?
Yeah.
That seems pretty ridiculous. I feel like maybe there should be some stipulations of what you can and can't do on your way out.
See, there was a lot of people talking about this. I had a few conversations in particular about what happens in that 120 days or whatever.
Yeah,
it's not quite 120 days. It's like it's more like 90, I guess.
Yeah, right? I mean, around 100 days.
100 days. So, and what could potentially happen and what they potentially, and I say they, like the Biden administration, could do to kind of even, it sucks to even have to say this, but like to set us back even more before Trump comes in.
Yeah, it's weird,
and
man.
wipes everything out or tries to. It seems like incredibly vindictive, and I would hope that both the House and the Senate all kind of see that. And I know some of them are bouncing too. Actually, no, because that happened, like, whoever won is in right now, correct?
I don't think so.
No?
They take it They take it earlier than the president does, but not yet.
Yeah, it was like our when we used to bid.
Yeah, we bid out, and then they give a month.
The sergeants bid first.
Yeah.
They always get their spot before we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. Well, man, I really hope that they make better decisions, or that they understand what's really going down.
What I thought was interesting is that you approved our missiles, long-range missiles, to be used in a active war.
That we're not in?
That right. Well, we're in it.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. We're fucking in it.
Of course we are. American
Is that
stamp
not
all
an
over those
act of
fucking
war,
weapons.
though?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to say we're not at war, is approving our missiles, and I'm going to give you another one that you guys probably don't know. Like, that's not an act. Doesn't have to be approved by Congress.
I thought that it...
Like, we're not declaring war, but we're actively, like, you know...
That was that workaround forever, though.
Yeah.
There was a huge workaround that the president had where he didn't have to have
like we bombed
Congress
Syria, like Obama
Right.
fucking...
Yeah, and didn't get
I mean, we
approval.
had fucking a bunch of troops in Syria.
Yeah, we have a bunch of them now.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But he put them there without approval of Congress.
And Biden put all these ones that are in Syria right now.
Yeah,
They just
so-
left a month ago.
Okay, so here's the thing you guys probably didn't know. Maybe, I don't know. We approved our ATACMs, is what they're called. They have a 190-mile range. So they were able to shoot them into the Kursk region, where they've been holding and fighting and losing and gaining ground inside of Russia. Here's what the interesting thing. Ukraine does not have the capability to guide those missiles.
So what? We gave him a bunch of fucking black cats.
We
just let them.
Nope, we gave them our ATACMs. And then there's 3 countries, I think there might have been more than 3, but it was us, Germany, and Great Britain. It wasn't disclosed which one, but one of those 3 had to guide those missiles.
Oh,
It wasn't like we're like, you can use these, you know, whatever you guys are going to do with them, that's on you. No, it was like, you can use these. Where do you want them to go? Because it was a NATO country that had to guide them, because they don't have the capability. That's why they don't have a long-range missile, because they can't guide it.
right.
That is, I mean, that's an act of war by, even if it wasn't us, it was NATO. We're in it, bud. I mean, you're there.
Well, if you apply the same thought or the same theory there as you do with Putin asking for military from North Korea, which I find very interesting. Why do you have, like, give me a good reason why he would ask
North Korea?
Yeah.
Well, I have a few.
Okay, go.
He's running out of money, number one.
Okay.
I know, and that's
Because of sanctions or what?
No, not just he can work around those, but I mean, he's running out of money because he has been in this war longer than he expected, and he's about to draft again, and he's also losing his approval ratings. So he needed people, didn't want to have to draft right now. So him and North Korea, and I only know this because I listen to the fucking Mike Baker's podcast every day. He does 2 a day. The only reason I know this stuff. And apparently him and North Korea have been in talks for years and been very close for years. And they have been working together for missiles and stuff. And they have shared. That's apparently how North Korea finally successfully got their nuke, was because of Putin. So they've been sharing information. North Korea's been supplying missiles to Russia since this war started, apparently, which I didn't know. I had no idea. And yeah, I think that this is like a North Korea. I mean, it's good for North Korea. All they fucking do there is sit in his cave and make missiles and nuclear bombs. So it's like, if you have a bunch and you can give it to a fucking world power like Russia, and you'd be on their good side. That's probably good.
It's a chess move for sure.
It's a chess move.
For both of them, actually.
100%.
Yeah. So where's China in all this, I wonder? Because you would think that you could go to China.
China is sitting quietly, biding their time.
Yeah.
That's what they've been doing for years, since the late 70s.
I feel like they probably think they probably have bigger fish to fry.
I mean, they're in it. 100% they're in it in ways. They're supplying people with stuff.
Well, you're getting that stuff Yes. I mean, not
Look,
necessarily.
Man, out of everybody,
It's got to go through China.
out of everybody in the world, China is the one playing chess.
Oh no, yeah, we're all playing checkers. They're playing chess.
The rest of the world's playing checkers. Mm-hmm. China's playing chess. I mean, China is setting up their chessboard.
The amount of stuff that amount of people, amount of supplies, amount of stuff they've been bringing into Mexico to get
the only
here.
reason that China hasn't made a big move to anything yet is because Xi Jinping has zero belief in his military, and he should, because he shouldn't have any.
Yeah,
because they haven't fought a war since '79, and they're just not trained very well.
Yeah,
They have a lot of new, bright, shiny weapons, but they don't know how to use them very well.
Right.
As far as a ground force war,
yeah. Also, I think there's definitely, which I'm sure everybody agrees, or to some extent, there's a huge financial thing with China too. China. They're so mixed in with the global financial section that, like, I mean, the trades and everything exchanging.
Well, yeah, and they're in that fucking,
that is huge.
That brick or whatever. They're trying to make the new world currency, like,
right,
to take out the dollar. Mm-hmm. And China's currently right now. China's driving their money, their dollar, whatever that is. I don't remember what it's called, down, to make it eeasier to do it.
Yeah, and I think
because they're trying to drive the brick up or whatever.
Right. And they're just, and make no mistake, like in our current situation, as far as a country, like, we require China.
Yeah.
But they also require us.
Yes.
Almost, and no matter what you think or what you've heard from either side, especially like Republicans, because they seem to bring this up a lot, it's more equal than you think. Like,
it is.
As soon as we shut shit down and their fear about tariffs and stuff like that, that is a massive fucking issue.
Well, and also the thing that makes it so even is that China can be like, we're not going to fucking, like
HDMI.
Excuse you? I see.
They're definitely listening.
Anyways,
yeah,
this house is gonna get bombed. But what makes it so even is like remember COVID, like, where they slowed the prescription drugs to us because they needed them. Air quotes. Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. We just got them from somewhere else that China supplied. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what makes it so even. Is China has to sell to somebody. Those people will sell to us after that. We get them secondhand. Maybe you pay a little more, but maybe not if China's trying to do tariffs also, or raise the price. So it's like, China can't be like, we'll raise the price for everybody so that the United States can't get it. Well, then you don't sell.
Right. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, money runs the world.
Yeah.
Period. And to get it, you have to sell something.
Yeah.
If you can't sell your stuff, you can't make any.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's really bugging me. There. Schmusmexa.
Yeah. That's the fucking soundbar.
Oh, perfect.
Which is even weirder.
Yeah, that's...
why? Because it's made in China.
Right.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not good. But,
no, I mean,
but it's not good for any side. I mean,
if China's military looked like our military, we'd all be learning Mandarin right now. Mm-hmm. That's all there is to it.
Well, something that they did that, and they really worked on exports.
Yep.
They kind of secured, and that's what they did. And they obviously have a fighting force, but it's not crazy because they supply so many countries in the world with so much material.
I mean, like the amount of like rare earth minerals and stuff, like 60% or more come from China.
So for them, they can fight their battle there.
Yeah.
They don't need to shed blood.
That's why the chess game is good for them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And, as we smarten up and stop trying to police everybody else.
Yeah, be the world police.
And work on us.
Yeah.
We, in a matter of probably less than a decade, could get to the exact same point, if not faster than that. I mean,
as soon as you start fucking
resources.
selling our oil, we sit on the biggest fucking oil, underground oil reserves in the world.
Yeah. Well,
can you imagine if you're China and Russia, you're looking at it like, look at these fucking idiots. They don't even drill their own oil because like someone's worried about what they're doing to the climate.
It's never been about the climate.
No.
It's been about, and I mean, this has always been kind of my theory. I've never really talked about it a whole bunch, but like the best thing that you could do if you have resources, buy them from somebody else until you can't buy them anymore. Mm-hmm. While all in the meantime, just stockpiling what you have, because at some point you become that place.
Well, yeah, because at the time that you're buying stuff while stockpiling yours, you're still driving the world trade market.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you just flip the switch.
Yeah.
And you're like, guess what? Everybody's got to buy
Which is
from us
what
now.
China's doing.
Yeah, well, and it's what we're doing, or we were for a little while.
Yeah.
And we could easily do again.
That's what everyone should be doing.
Right. Dude, it makes you the strongest. It makes you stronger than anybody else. You know, and
I don't know.
I remember my uncle was still alive. He was in construction. They were having problems getting concrete because at the time, China was buying all the sand.
Yeah, I remember that.
And if you don't know, sand is concrete.
Part of concrete.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
And so they were having real issues here, you know, and of course, you know, all the fucking hippies were like, don't take our beaches. Like, yeah, that's where it's at. That's where all the sand is, you fucking idiot.
The only sand on the planet's on fucking in Malibu.
You mean that 20 feet between the rocks to the water? That's where we're at? You fucking there's a whole desert 100 miles away from where you're sitting in Malibu. You
just
fucking
full
idiot.
that shit.
Just a fuck ton of it.
A metric fuck ton of it.
And, yeah, but I just thought that was interesting. Like, and American companies were selling it to China because they're getting such a good deal, good price on it.
Not a lot of deserts in China.
Yeah, not a lot of deserts you can get to.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been very, very interesting because they were building so much, they needed as much as they could get.
Yeah.
So
you need a lot of fucking concrete for those coal fucking power plants that we build.
Yeah. Yep. All them apple plants that people are diving off of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the first 100 days is going to be big. I think it kind of has to be. I think the first year has to be big because he's only got 4. And really only 2 that you can count on because we have midterms.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a strong couple of years, 18 months, whatever you want to say there. And he has, you know, just like anybody that doesn't have a third shot at it or whatever, like he's in a unique position to be able to just, you know, kind of
throttle,
go
just
for
hammer
it.
down, man.
Yeah. But you need to have some checks and balances there too.
Absolutely.
And that's what you were talking about earlier, which was like, man, we got the House, got the Senate, we got the White House, we got the fucking Supreme Court.
Yeah, we have all 3 branches.
It's that can be very scary on both sides.
Can be.
So, I mean, I think with that you got to be very careful. I hope that they are. I think you got people in place that will keep him in check somewhat. I feel like probably more so than before because, man, he said it like he knew nobody.
Yeah.
Right. He was relying on other people to tell him, you know, like give him recommendations.
Yeah.
And now he doesn't have to do that. I mean, he'll still take recommendations, but he's way more versed in what and who and that sort of thing. So, and you can already tell. I mean, the cabinet that he's already put together is strong as fuck.
Strong,
it's
man.
Crazy good. And God, some of the memes are just undefeated.
The you know what I really think is really interesting is how they're going about like the Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah. Doge.
Yeah, I think that's hilarious.
Elon and Vivek, right?
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I think the way they're going about it or going to go about it is very wise, because they're talking about, like, they're going to lay off, I mean, a bunch of people that we don't need. Let's be honest here. I wonder how many thousands of people, like, literally show up to work that make $100,000 a year, that just, like, literally push papers back and forth across a desk all day long, that don't have anything on them, just blank piece of paper.
Did you listen to Chris Anderson? Was that his name?
I have no idea.
Let me look at it real quick.
But anyways, what I was going to say is, like, the way they're going about it, I think, is very good. There was talks with some fucking billionaire dude, I don't remember what his name was, about how they would go about it, and like, you're gonna have to lay these people off, and Elon's talking about giving them severance packages, right? And he's talking about, I mean, like, possibly up to 2 years pay,
Right.
or, you know, he's throwing out like a year to 2 years or something like that of pay, which I think is great. But I think that what the billionaire they were talking to was saying would be better, he says, yes, give them their year pay, whatever. You're fired. Sorry, bud. You're laid off. You're going to get a year's pay. You're going to get paid for a year. But the way you should do it so you don't tank the workforce is that you should tell them you're going to get paid for a year. You're going to get your salary every month or every 2 weeks, whatever it is, for the year. As soon as you find a new job, we'll pay you out in full.
Yeah.
So, like, you get a new job in a month, they're going to pay you the 11 months more up front. Boom, there you go. Take it all. Have a good one. And that's the best way to keep the unemployment rate, so you don't have a bunch of people that are just sitting there collecting their fucking wages for a year or 2 years or whatever.
Considered unemployed.
Yeah.
Mark Anderson. He's been on Rogan's podcast a couple times. He's a Simi Valley or a Silicon Valley.
Mark Andreessen?
Yeah, Andreessen.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. I listened to that one today at the gym.
Okay.
I'm almost done with it.
So I have a story that sides this one, right? That kind of like goes with it. So, or an example of what he said. Okay. So since COVID, like 50, I think he said 50 or 60% of government workers are remote and only have to come into the office like once a month.
Yeah.
So what they'll do is they'll come in on the last day that they can work on the month and the very first day of the next month, and then basically be off for another 60 days.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's fucking wild.
That's genius.
Like, it's fucking genius. That it reminded me of some of the shit that we used to do.
Yeah.
You know, how we would swap
like line
into
up,
a vacation,
up swaps into like 2 vacation days lining up into a holiday or something like crazy.
And it would just be like, you know, you'd be off for 12 days or some shit. Get paid the whole fucking time.
Paid the whole time.
Anyway, so yes, we took advantage of that too. Anyway, but it was our time. So I guess, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
we were using our time.
You were also working doubles.
We were fronting the work.
Yeah.
Basically. That's how that worked. Anyway. So someone in Courtney's family, husband works for one of the alphabets.
Oh, the alphabet boys.
Yeah. Not them, but one of the acronyms.
Sure.
And since COVID, he only has to go in, and his is different. He goes in like twice a week instead of twice a month. Other than that, they're remote, right? And they've worked all over the world for this, you know, department. And so anyway, I was just like, I'm like, holy shit! Like, I listened to that podcast, and I was, you know, and I learned that information, and I had heard about it. I'd heard about like a lot of government employees have not ever had to come back for the most part, you know.
Yeah.
And like how he was talking about how they have mouse movers. You can buy a mouse mover.
Yeah, that keeps you fucking active.
That keeps you active even though you're not there. That's fucking wild too. Yeah. And that his buddy that owns a company in Silicon Valley like had like built software that went into the company's hard drive, and like figured out who was using them based on keystrokes because all the keystrokes are the same.
Yeah.
And so he found out he fucking fired like a bunch of them.
Jesus, that's awesome.
When he finished, it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
But because here's the thing, and we've done it, right? And what I mean by that is like, if you give an employee the ability to exploit something,
yeah,
they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because you've given them the green light. It was like when we had all of our sick time, because we would get a ton of sick time at work. Paid. We would take that sick time, not when we were sick. We would just back up on one of those days that
because you could use 16 of them a year before anyone questioned anything.
Right.
Guess what? That's one a month, baby.
Right. And you never got fucked with.
No.
And
there wasn't a month went by when I was employed at the state of California, I didn't take a sick day.
Right.
I took one every month.
Right. I did too.
I banked 100 hours, and then I used one every month.
Right. Because we couldn't get paid on sick time. We could get paid on vacation, meaning they would pay you out at the end of your deal. They would pay you out on vacation.
Oh, and you could do it.
Pay you out on sick.
You could send off for it too, remember? Or you could once a year, you could send off to cash out
you could
some
cash
of your
out
vacation
50%.
time.
Yeah, you could do that. And then if you went to, what was that other thing? We had a thing that you could go where it combines sick and vacay.
Oh yeah,
what
where
was
you
that
could.
Called?
I don't remember.
But if you did that, then
you could cash all of it out, but you got less total hours.
Yeah, you got less total hours. Instead of 16 hours a month, you get 14 hours.
Yeah, so like it was to the point where like if you were maxed out, you got like 13 hours of vacation time a month, and you always got only 8 hours of sick time. So it was like 21 hours total, but you can only cash out 13 of it. If you went to the other program, like I forget what it was called.
God, it's right there.
I know.
Can't remember it.
If you went to that, they would give you just 14 hours total to be used as either sick or vacation, but you could cash it all out. So if you were a dude that didn't ever call in sick and never used your vacation time, it was much better to do that.
What was fucking crazy was when you went to that, you kept all your sick pay.
You could change it.
So like if you had 100 or more, if you had any amount of sick pay, it would stay sick pay, but it would not
affect the new hours.
It wouldn't accrue.
Yeah.
Only the other time would accrue.
So like if you were in the standard, it would be you had, let's say you were
8 and 8.
Let's say you banked up 80 hours of sick time and 80 hours of vacation time, and then you switched to the other program. You would still have 80 hours of vacation time, 80 hours of sick time, and you would start accruing a different bank of the new hours.
Right.
So you'd have 3 banks of hours. And when you call in sick, you could use your sick time that you still had.
Right.
And you would
until that was done.
Yeah, and then you would still be banking all 14
It was like
hours.
annual time.
Annual.
Or something like that. Annual sick or annual sick or something like that. Anyway, point was, I knew a guy that had 1,800 hours of sick time.
That sucks.
And he had switched over to annual or whatever they called it. And so all of his vacation time, which he had like 1,000 hours of vacation, started accruing at a higher rate.
Yeah, 14.
Yeah. And then I think they went out on disability.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing what people would do, right?
They would take before they would retire,
sick time.
They would go out on extended leave.
Like it was a 30-year plan. Like if you took 20 years and banked all your sick time and vacation time, most of it.
Yeah.
And then your last 10 years switched to annual leave.
Annual leave, there it is.
Wow, it just came out naturally.
Yep, that's what
switched to annual leave. And you would crank 14 hours every month for your last 10 years. It would add to the vacation you already had. And then you would have, 1,000 or more hours of, whatever you saved in your sick time.
Right.
And then you'd go out fucking family leave.
Family leave. Well, it would really be
FMLA.
It'd be extended. You could go out like extended leave.
Yeah.
And then you would bank, it would be like how many hours a month? 160-ish? I think it was 162 hours was on your regular check, somewhere in there. So divide that by however many months.
You could be out 6 months before your retirement date.
And you're still accruing retirement.
Yeah.
So people
your leave.
Yeah. and then they would cash out their leave.
Yeah, for like $100K.
Oh, I knew guys. Oh, dude, that one sergeant. I can't remember his name. He was from Chino. He grew up down there. His family had a milk farm down there.
Yeah.
He said by the time I retire, they're gonna have to cut me a check for $300,000.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. You know what that means? How many wives you been through? That's my question.
Yeah.
Do your kids still talk to you? That's what I always ask people.
Oh yeah, no.
None of them. The people that were like, they always come in, but fucking be an overtimer coming in, got 28 years. He's like, he'll be looking at his pay stub. Oh, I got 1,000 hours. I'm like, he's like, how many you got? I'm like, I got a fucking 100. I got to 100, and then I call out once a month, bud. Yeah. He's like, don't you want to bank all that stuff and this and that? And I'm like, no, because I would like to keep my family. And I'd be like, you married? Yep. How many times?
Yeah.
Third, huh? Yeah. Your kids still talk to you? And then he would stop talking to me.
Yeah.
Which is what I was going for in the first place.
Yeah, really, because I need to take a nappy.
Yeah. Guess what? Don't cause a fight in my fucking dorms. Yeah. Just shut the fuck up.
How crazy is that, though? Like, so when my dad died, it was like 6 months before I left, right? And I from that point forward, I took, probably like 2 weeks off when he died.
Yeah.
I think I was off for about 2 weeks with swaps and all that. I came back and I worked 2 days a week for the next 5.5 months, and that was it.
That's the way to go.
Yep.
Did I ever tell you about that guy? I was in 640 on my Saturday shift double. It was my first shift, and then I went to 650 for my shift. And the guy took overtime on the weekend. He was a OG. Came in to do a double on his day off. And that motherfucker came in there, and the only food he brought was the fucking Costco-sized bag of fucking Totino's pizza rolls. Did I tell you about this?
Yeah, I think actually you had told me about this.
It's like 108 pizza rolls in this box, and that motherfucker proceeded to eat the whole fucking box. He had a stack of paper plates. Yeah, he had a stack of paper plates, and he would fill the plate, microwave it, come out to the podium, eat them all, and then like a half hour later, he'd go fill that fucking thing again. I'm like, bro. Let's just double check and see how much sodium is in this.
I'm like, bro, the 108 count of Totino's pizza
What's the
roll.
big one? What's the big box?
Tennessee is ruining them now. That's good.
Totino's pizza rolls. Okay. It was the box. It wasn't the bag of 50. 130 of them. There it is right there.
Yeah, okay.
130 of them things,
dude. Tell me there's
oh, we're getting nutritional
There's nutritional facts? Okay, good.
Yeah, we're getting them. I need your calendar or your calculator, though.
Oh, don't worry. Let me get my...
oh, God. Okay, hold on.
Let me get my spectacles on.
Oh, yeah, great. Totino's pizza roll.
So hard to put them on.
Okay. Let's just... That guy's dead now, by the way, for sure.
100%.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, except I can't get... My Face ID doesn't work with my glasses on, which is weird. But it does with my sunglasses, which I find very odd.
Okay.
All right.
Do 6 into 130.
130 divided by 6?
Yes.
Okay.
How much is that?
That's 17. That's 17. Is that per serving?
No.
Okay.
So what number is it?
17.
17. Now do 210 times 17.
210 times 17 is 3,570.
That's how many calories
are in the whole box?
Are in the whole box. 210 calories per 6 rolls.
6 rolls.
Per 6 rolls. You did 6 into 130, right? That gave you 17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's 3,500 calories. You want to do some sodiums?
Yep.
Okay. 350 times 17.
5,950 milligrams of sodium.
Yeah.
He had enough sodium for an entire week.
Yeah.
An entire week in one 8-hour
to be
shift.
fair, he was fat as fuck. 3,500 calories was probably his maintenance calories. Maybe that's what he was shooting for, man. I mean, he's maintaining.
So you're saying that's the only thing he ate all day?
All day was pizza rolls. I know. I don't know what he ate on his second shift, but
he had another box of those bitches. Probably in his own spot.
Well, I think he was on his second shift because I think he worked second and third. So.
Oh, okay.
Who knows what the fuck he ate for breakfast?
God, the breakfast ones?
Never had those.
I haven't either.
Okay, how long have we been going
now?
I have to pee. I'm going to wrap this fucking catch-up podcast up.
Yeah.
Next week, guys, we're gonna be back to. We got a bunch of fun stuff we want to talk about. I think. I don't know.
Absolutely.
A bunch of random shit.
We got plenty of random stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff I've been thinking about over the past few weeks we haven't recorded.
Absolutely. All right. Well, hope you guys liked it.
Hope you guys enjoyed.
Listen to us next week also.
Yeah, sure. We'll be here.
All right.
Later, guys.